الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. My dear respected brothers, elders, listeners, as we know, we are coming to the end, the last few days remaining in the month of Sha'ban. And we are approaching the blessed month, the month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His mercy, with security, afiyah, give us enough life that we remain till Ramadan and make most of Ramadan and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the best way we can in the blessed month of Ramadan. Regarding the blessed month of Ramadan, fasting, and all the things related to the blessed month of Ramadan, the verse that I recited, which is from Surah Al-Baqarah, para number 2, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned about fasting. In fact, the whole ruku is dedicated to the rulings of Ramadan and those things that are attached to Ramadan. Apart from this ruku in Surah Al-Baqarah, para number 2, we will not find anywhere in the Quran about the rulings related to fasting or Ramadan. Which means, if we look at this ruku, which consists of 5 to 6 verses. So 5 to 6 verses, we find a lot of detail in the books of hadith. But in the Quran, we find 5 to 6 verses. These 5 to 6 verses is the bare minimum that a Muslim must know. So we have some understanding of Ramadan, the Quran, dua, in fact, these 6 verses, it's upon us that we study them at the bare minimum and do as much as we can to try and understand these verses so we have some idea about Ramadan and the Quran. And these verses we can find in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has addressed the believers in the first verse, a special message for the believers. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Allah has addressed the believers, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O those who believe, those who have iman, this is a message for them. This message is kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting has been made, enjoined upon you, has been made obligatory. Siyam means fast. The word sawm means to abstain. In the terminology of Sharia, a fast mean, what does a fast mean in the terminology of Sharia? It means to abstain from eating, from drinking, being intimate with the wife. Abstain from these three things. From dawn all the way till Maghrib, continuously. If one minute before even the time of Maghrib has eaten or had a drink, then the fast would not be valid. It has to be continuous all the way till Maghrib time, and also along with this with the intention of fasting. If one has remained hungry from dawn till Maghrib but had no intention to fast, but had fulfilled all the other things of eating, drinking and being intimate, then the fast would not count. It will not be counted as a fast. So in the terminology of Sharia, to abstain from eating, drinking and also being intimate from dawn all the way till Maghrib, continuously with the intention of fasting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made fasting obligatory. And there's a lot of reward when we keep a fast. It's a pillar of Islam. We've heard the famous hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Buniya al-Islamu ala khams. The foundation of Islam is laid on 5 pillars. The pillar of Islam, the foundation, the roots. One of these is Sawm, is fasting in the blessed month of Ramadan. How unlucky, unfortunate are those that Ramadan comes and they have no reason, but they still decide to eat and drink openly. If we look at the fuqahas, the ulamas, and the verdicts they have given regarding the one who openly eats and drinks in Ramadan and does not respect this blessed month, the lightest opinion is that this person should be jailed. So respect for the month of Ramadan. And as we see commonly, as time is going on, the times of fitna, the times of tests, more and more, we do not need to go far, a few miles away, just within a mile from the masjid, many of us, or even half a mile, that we would see people openly drinking, eating in the month of Ramadan. And they may have no reason. And the lowest part of Iman is when you see something wrong happen, that you have the guilt inside and you feel bad. That is the lowest part of Iman. And if it does not affect us in any way when we see haram committed in society, then what level is our Iman at? Allah knows best. If we are in a position that we can stop this sin with our hands, then we stop. If we can speak about and against it, then we speak. And if we think we are sure by speaking in this moment of time, it will not do any good, but there could be more harm, or stopping, there could be more harm, the lowest level is that to feel this as a sin in the heart. This is why we have to give da'wah. It's important speaking about the greatness of Allah. Amr bil ma'ruf, nahi anil munkar. Enjoining in good and forbidding evil is a duty of every Muslim. If we can walk around and people are committing sins and we happily have no concern, no worry, it's not affecting me, it's not affecting my children, of course it is. So we have to think at this moment of time, what is the best way, or the least we can do is feel that this is a sin and make dua for them. That may Allah guide them, may Allah guide us, may Allah guide them. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned in the hadith, Man sama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaba. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan and has iman and hope for reward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive his sins. It's a month of blessing. It's a month of mercy. It's a month of forgiveness. It's a month of sympathy. It's a month of patience. And the reward for patience is Jannah.
I think so.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِكُمْ, like it was enjoined upon people that came before you. Fasting is not something which is new for us, for this ummah. Fasting has been made obligatory from the time of Adam alayhi salam, including the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Yes, the fasts were not identical, like how our fasts are. There could be some difference in their timing. There could be some difference of their days. There could be some differences. But fasts were in the previous ummah. It's not something which is new. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us the importance of fasting is not just restricted to this ummah. People from the time of Adam alayhi salam kept a fast. And number two, for those that would find it difficult and think, how will we fast the whole month of Ramadan? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that from the time of Adam alayhi salam all the way up until now, people have kept fasts. When a thing which may seem difficult, but in the society everyone is doing this, then now this will become easy. Even though an act which is difficult, but when we look around and we see everyone is doing it, it becomes easy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that this is not something new. People that came before you, they also kept a fast. And in the last part of the first verse, an important, very important point which has been highlighted. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Why do we fast? Many of us cannot give a convincing answer to our colleagues, to our children, people that we work with, non-Muslims, when we are asked this question. They may ask you, Muhammad, why do you keep a fast? What answer do we have? What answer do we give them? Maybe we can answer, but is it convincing enough for them to understand? Now the fasts are shorter, but a few years when the fasts were long, and people that had worked 8-9 hours a day, and it was very difficult without water. And when non-Muslims would look at them and they say, why are you putting yourself through this torture and difficulty? Why are you fast? Why are you fasting? And if a convincing answer is not given to them, then what will they think? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this answer. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. We know things which are haram. Allah has made them haram. But what happens? We cannot control our desire. And we begin to do haram and disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ramadan is a month, whether we know or we do not know, we exercise this control throughout the month, and we have this control of our desire. And what do we control? No matter how thirsty we are, no matter how hungry we are. But one will not eat until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us permission till Maghrib. No matter which country we are in, no matter where we are, what is happening, our surroundings, a Muslim, we're talking about the general, not exceptional cases, would not eat anything till Maghrib, whether one is hungry, thirsty, what the temperature is, one will not eat. Yet, despite we are thirsty, we are hungry, but we tell ourselves we will not eat until Maghrib. What is this? This is practicing. This is exercise. What is stopping us? When no one is around, and there's cold drink in the fridge, water in the fridge, food in the fridge, no one is around, what is stopping us from eating and drinking? What is this? This is called taqwa, the fear of Allah. Translated as the fear of Allah, but being conscious. Allah is watching me. I cannot eat, I cannot drink till Maghrib. For 1 month we exercise and practice this control of the desires, which is important. There's sin committed around us. We try and stop ourselves. We cannot. We don't have that power, the control. We spend the rest of the months in negligence, in ghafla, in disobeying Allah. Allah through His mercy grants us Ramadan. What a blessing. That the rest of the 11 months we've spent in the dunya and all this dust and all the sin around us. Now Allah's given us this 1 month that come back to your purpose of life. Why have we created you, O man? What was the purpose? What was the reason? Come back to this purpose. Understand your reason of creation. And Allah made it easy that in this month you will exercise this for 1 month. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that now you become conscious. You have gained in 1 month exercising to control your desire. Now after Ramadan ends, you decide spiritually if you would want to go further. This is why we fast. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Spiritually, how this helps a Muslim to increase their faith, to become a better Muslim. And there's many benefits for fasting, the one that fasts. With the health, with the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the first verse of fasting, has addressed this, that we understand why we fast. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. This taqwa, which we all need, has not come once in the Quran. We will find in verses where Allah has mentioned it 2 times. In one verse. And it's not in one place in the Quran. It comes in Surah Baqarah. Then we find in the next surah, Surah Al Imran. Then we look in other surahs. Various parts of the Quran, Allah is reminding us again and again, again and again. You need this taqwa. It's a must. And how will we get this and we practice? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ in Ramadan. Allah gives us this opportunity to practice this in Ramadan. So how fortunate that we get this chance to fast in Ramadan. Allah has made it easy for us. It's not something new. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it easy for us to do worship in Ramadan, to draw more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ramadan. And then Allah multiplies our reward, blessings and blessings after blessings, mercy upon mercy, countless things that cannot be completed. So as much as we can, we take benefit from this blessed month. Staying away from sins, praying, salah, attending the masjid, May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand and to spread unto others. Two announcements that need to be made. The first announcement is regarding during Ramadan, after the Isha prayer, after 20 minutes after Isha prayer, the masjid doors at the back will be locked. This is for the safety of the musallis, the worshippers. So the doors will be locked, and there will only be one way that you can get out, and that is where the shoe area is on the right hand side. In the far corner there are two double doors. Underneath there's a button, and if you press this, then you can exit out, but no one will be allowed to come in. There will be some security there if anyone is late, that they will allow you to come in. So during Ramadan, after Isha prayer, after 20 minutes, from the Farud of Isha, after 20 minutes, the doors will be locked. So this is safety for the worshippers. Please keep this in mind. And the second announcement is regarding the ladies program, which takes place every Thursday during Ramadan. It will be taking place 2 days, on Monday and Thursday. And please note the time, 11 a.m. till 12:30. This program in Ramadan will take place on Monday and Thursday. And many sisters, they join. And hopefully in Ramadan, there'll be more sisters that can benefit from these talks. Jazakallah.